Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming to you live from Black Packs Central. 12 o'clock noon, April 9. We're over here feeling fine. How about you? I hope you're feeling good too. Well, today, I want to talk about something that is, what's the word for it? Something that eludes many of us. And it's something that we should all know about quite well. And that is something we call common sense. Common sense. Common sense is not so common anymore. And I wanted to read something here to you out of our book, the African American Book of Values. Love this book. It's a great book. It's well worth money. It's a very inexpensive book, 800-page book. Gives you a lot of folk wisdom of the folks, wisdom of the people, for the people, by the people. Okay, so you can get your hand on a copy of this book. Get your hands on a copy of it. You can definitely find it at your local library. I got this from somebody's library. They were getting rid of it, so I picked it up with the library binding and everything right off of Amazon. Loving it. So this one, I'm going to read it to you first, and then I'm going to tell you who wrote it. Okay, so you can date it and kind of put it into context. Here is a list of to-dos for those intending to become virtually unreadable writers. Unreadable writers. Use all the cliches possible, such as he had a gleam in his eye, or her teeth were white as pearls. If you're black, try very hard to write with an eye dead on the white market. Use modern stereotypes of older stereotypes. Big, burly Negroes, criminals, low-lifers, and prostitutes. Put in a lot of profanity and as many pages as possible of near pornography. And you will be so modern, you predate Pompeii in your lonely crusade toward the bestseller list. By all means, be misunderstood, unappreciated, and ahead of your time in print and out. Then you can be felt sorry for by your own self, if not the public. Never characterize characters. Just name them and then let them go for themselves. Let all of them talk the same way. If the reader hasn't imagination enough to make something out of cardboard cutouts, shame on him. Write about China, Greece, Tibet, or the Argentine Pampas. Any place you've never seen and know nothing about. Never write about anything you know, your hometown, your home folks, or yourself. Have nothing to say, but use a great many words, particularly high-sounding words, to say it. If a playwright, put into your script a lot of hand-waving and spirituals, preferably the ones everybody has heard 1,000 times, from Marian Anderson to the Golden Gates. If a poet, rhyme June with moon as often and in as many ways as possible. Also use these and thous and tis and or, and invert your sentences all the time. Never say the sun rose bright and shining, but rather bright and shining rose the sun. Pay no attention, really, to spelling or grammar or the neatness of the manuscript. And in writing letters, never sign your name so anyone can read it. A rapid scrawl will better indicate how important and how busy you are. Drink as much liquor as possible and always write under the influence of alcohol. When you can't afford alcohol yourself, or even if you can, drink on your friends, your fans, and the general public. If you're white, there are many more things I can advise in order to be a bad writer. But since this piece is for colored writers, there are some things I know a black person just will not do, not even for writing's sake. So, no sense in mentioning them. And then at the end, there's a quote here: we all have ability. The difference is how we use it. Now, who wrote this piece and how long ago was it written? That's the question. Who wrote it? How long ago was it written? Well, as it turns out, this was written by Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was dead before I ever went to Harlem. I went to Harlem in 1975. I'm pretty sure he was gone before that. So, yeah, prior to that, prior to 1975. So a good 45 years plus. But it actually sounds a lot like what we're seeing being written for TV, the movies, the stage, and books today. Bad writing, misspelled words, use of stereotypes, heavy use of stereotypes. Take an old stereotype and modernize it. Okay? All of these things we can see in the movies around us. I saw one the other night, terrible movie. Terrible movie. I mean, it was stupid. I mean, stupid funny, but when you get done, even though you didn't pay any money to watch this movie that was stupid funny, I still felt like I wanted my time back. I wanted that hour back because time is money. And I didn't think it was all that funny to spend some money on watching that, whatever they call that. I won't even say who was in it. It's a daggone shame they were in it because I kind of expected a little better from them, but not really. Because I've seen them in the other things, productions they've been in have been just about at the same level or maybe a little lower. It's hard to say. So, in conclusion, it's time that we stop losing and write about what we know. As a genealogist, they say the first person story that you want to write down is your own. Why? Because you know that story the best. Write your story. So that's what I'm encouraging all my friends and family to do. Begin writing your story. You don't have to, there's all kinds of ways to do it. You have so many ways to do it these days. You can go on Google and record it. You can record it on your phone. You can record it while you're alone. You can record it in a crowd. You can record it real loud. You can record it real soft. You can do it any way you like because you're the boss. You can write it down. You don't have to frown. You don't even have to clown. You can type it in, put it in Google Docs, turn it into a Google Doc. Write a little bit at a time and come back and add some more later. Make it into a blog, however you want to do it. But write down your story because you can tell your story better than anybody else. And anything else that they want to say you did or did not do, that can be argued about for years and days after you're gone. But at least your words, your thoughts, your perception, your perspective will endure through the sands of time. That's all I got to say today. Sorry, I didn't rhyme. Peace out, y'all.